Hello, I am Bookface, and today we're talking about
Creepypasta.
yet again. Where the only thing more disturbing than the stories is the comment sections. Seriously, I had this video almost completely researched, and I made the mistake of looking at the comment sections under one of the creepypastas, and I reevaluated everything in my life. But despite that, creepypastas themselves are still pretty cool. So, my advice for looking into creepypastas, just read it. Don't look up anything else about it. No comments, no images. Only thing you should look up is the actual creepypasta, and of course my videos. And with that out of the way, let's jump right in. The first creepypasta we have is Eyeless Jack. He's a human-like figure with a black hoodie and dark jeans. And also a blue mask with no facial expressions and just empty eye sockets. And also a strange black substance oozing from the eye sockets. Okay, just thought it sounded a little close to home there. He was a serial killer known for stealing and eating people's organs. Now, the story of Eyeless Jack starts with our protagonist, Mitch. Mitch woke up with a huge gash on his face, which his brother actually had to point out to him because apparently a giant gash is purely visible and there's no actual pain to it. Unless he looked in a mirror, he would not know there was a giant slash on his face. So because of the giant, purely visual gash on his face, he goes to the doctor and finds out that his left kidney was removed. Okay, couple questions here. One, if this currently unknown force removed this dude's kidney, then how did he miss so incredibly bad that he slashed the guy's face? And two, how did the doctor figure out the kidney was missing if the guy just came for a giant cut on his face?
That's a pretty deep cut on your cheek. Better do a full body x-ray to make sure all your organs are still there.
A few moments later.
Aha! I'm not crazy.
So after realizing somebody snuck into him and his brother's house and harvested his kidney, he does the only logical thing and goes right back to the house and sleeps in the exact same place. Nothing happened. No additional security, nothing. Just, oh boy, that was tiring. I better go back to sleep. That night, at around midnight, he wakes up, completely unprompted, even though before he could get a giant gash on his face and stay completely asleep. Maybe there were drugs involved. And he sees Eyeless Jack. As you can imagine, this was not taken very well. So he did the first smart thing in this whole story by taking the thing's picture, kicking it in the face, and booking it out of the house, into the woods where he immediately trips on a rock and gets knocked out. Well, you tried, and you were doing so good. So he ends up waking up in the hospital. I'm assuming some dudes are just hiking along and saw a possible corpse, and only panicked a little bit and called an ambulance because turns out he wasn't dead. That's the kind of casual world they live in. The doctor, who is the same doctor for some reason, claimed that he's alright, but that his brother was murdered. Because that's the doctor's job. When he goes back to the house to get his belongings, which would definitely not be considered an active crime scene from the murder that just took place, he sees something strange next to his brother's corpse. Again, not an active crime scene, just a corpse laying in the middle of the house. And so naturally, he picks it up and takes it with him. Just shoves it right in his pocket. When looking at it closer, he recognizes that it's his stolen kidney, but with a bite taken out of it and strange black ooze coming out of it. The next creepypasta we have is Laughing Jack, because apparently Jack is just a very evil name. So, if you're named Jack, you're probably a murderer. Hate to tell you this. You ever heard of Jack the Ripper? That he was doomed from the start. Laughing Jack was initially created by a guardian angel as a jack-in-the-box with a personality that matches its owner. Vague guidelines like that are always a bad idea. You're just looking for a loophole at this point. Guardian angels, I thought you guys were trained better than this. Eventually, Laughing Jack became a Christmas present for an adorable little boy named Isaac in the 1800s. Oh, isn't that so sweet? He's just so precious. Oh, look at him. Whoops, now he's a serial killer. And thus, here's where those vague guidelines turn disastrous, which nobody could have predicted. So, at first, Jack is kind of like,
Hey, could you chill for a minute? Isaac, could you calm down?
and when Isaac predictably said no, then Jack decided
Well, can't beat him, join him.
he also got taller and went from being colorful to being black and white. The true horror in this story.
Emos.
And the first step of his emo phase was to brutally murder Isaac. Boy, that's some killer irony, am I right? Next step of his emo phase, to go to children pretending to be their imaginary friend, then torture and murder them. Flash forward to sometime more modern, and a child named James informs his mom about his new imaginary friend. Yeah, imaginary friends, that always goes well in horror movies. At first, his mom does not care, because she's a wonderful, loving mother. But then she has a dream where Laughing Jack's victims come to her in an abandoned fairground and explains what's going on. I'm sorry, when did Laughing Jack get a connection to a fairground? They're just like, this was the closest place, free parking. Laughing Jack then messes with James's mom, because apparently he knows about this dream, by moving his action figures and randomly giving James candy. So suspicious. I mean, it is, but you know. Then Jack decides, that's not suspicious enough. And he kills the family dog, guts it, and puts candy in its open stomach, and hangs it in the kitchen, which he destroyed. I think you're the one who needs to chill, my dude. It's a bit excessive. James's mom calls the police, and they conclude that it was a robbery.
Was anything stolen in this situation other than the dog's guts?
Later on, some other night, the mom goes to check on her son, only to find him really messed up. Not giving any details, because good God. And Laughing Jack was, of course, laughing at the brutality. So the mom goes to stab Jack, because now she's got the knife. And in a plot twist, she messes up and stabs her son and kills him for good. And also, Jack can teleport now. So she gets institutionalized and is apparently completely okay with this for some reason. But apparently someone keeps playing Pop Goes the Weasel outside her room. Kick them when they're down. Classy, Jack. Lastly, we have Ticky Toby. Child Tobias Aaron Rogers started out as a normal kid, except he had a disorder that prevents him from feeling pain, as well as Tourette's. The Tourette's cause him to have various tics, such as cracking his neck, leading to his nickname of Ticky Toby. That's not okay. This nickname and bullying led to him switching from public school to homeschooling. He had an older sister, a mom, and an abusive dad. This story is just getting off to a wonderful start. When he was 17, his sister died in a car accident, leading to him getting worse and becoming even more socially isolated and barely eating. From there, he began to see hallucinations of his dead, mutilated sister. He would lose pieces of his memory, as well as seeing a strange figure who may come up later in the story, as well as chewing the skin off his fingers in anxiety. That is some advanced nail chewing right there. Eventually, he just went fully insane, killed his dad, and went to the garage to take 2 hatchets, matches, and gasoline. Okay, so I know where we're going with that gasoline and the matches, but why exactly did you get those hatchets other than to have some iconic weapon later on? Toby then decides he's gonna burn the house down with himself inside. Definitely needed hatchets for that. But out of nowhere, Slender Man appears and saves him. Not prepared for this crossover. Okay, but legitimately, when I was, quote, researching this, I was genuinely confused and a little surprised when Slender Man just randomly appeared in this story. What? After being saved, he serves Slender Man and kills people for him. Apparently, Slender Man started getting lazy. Also, a child deciding to murder for Slender Man. That's definitely a wonderful influence. A few weeks after Toby disappeared, his mother saw on the news that several teenagers were murdered, and Toby was the main suspect. Happy ending yet again. There we have 3 very depressing creepypastas. Lovely stories. I think creepypastas are interesting just because I think it says something. I have no idea what that thing being said is, but I'm sure it's something. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.